his endorsement to this leadership team, and does he want you to continue to be the speaker after the November election?
He said very complimentary things about all of us. We had sustained applause. He said, I'm doing a very good job. I mean, we're grateful for that. Look, we have to have continuity in leadership. We have to have a plan, and it has to be very carefully executed.
The House Speaker runs a law firm. They only have one client, but it's a pretty big firm, and they work every day on behalf of that client, Donald Trump.
Oh, that's gotta hurt!
And that's at the cost of everything that your viewers probably care about, keeping their kids safe from gun violence in their schools, making sure corporations aren't gouging you on your gas and your groceries, lowering your healthcare costs. None of that's being addressed, but we are going to bring in eventually a district attorney who presided over a local case and question that verdict. And at the same time, by the way, Jim, these guys were praising the verdict in Delaware, where a jury of Hunter Biden's peers found him guilty. And so it's really about Donald Trump's choices, though, right? Donald Trump chose to live in Manhattan. He had a jury of his peers, a jury that he picked decided, his fate. And that jury decided 34 times that he is guilty. So that's 408 straight times that they said guilty. And now they're going to seek, to undermine what Donald Trump's neighbors had to say about his criminality.
Let's be fair. Mike Johnson did say that he works for God first and foremost. That's why he's going above and beyond to bend the knee to a thrice married billionaire found liable of a sexual assault, convicted of felonies relating to him paying hush money to a porn star as a means to influence an election.
And the number of people who do not believe in absolute truth is now above the majority for the first time.
And I'm all in for President Trump. I think I expect he'll be our nominee. Yeah.
What is godly or Christian-like about that? When he talks about church attendance, what church do they go to that tells them to put Medicaid and Medicare at risk for people that are poor, the kind of people Jesus healed? So it is a distortion and a perversion. I've been a preacher since I was a little boy. I know the Bible. The Bible ought not be running the country. This is a democracy, not a theocracy. But if you even gonna quote the Bible, quote it right.
Mike Johnson told the world that him and his son were accountability coaches to prevent each other from watching porn, and he basically undid that whole example if he was trying to set one by showing up and supporting Donald Trump's hush money payment to a porn star. Beyond that, he then welcomed Donald Trump to the Capitol. Donald Trump spoke to the GOP conference and did as he always does, disparaged everybody and made it all about himself.
In D.C., Donald Trump speaking on Capitol Hill. He just met with senators, had a business roundtable earlier this morning as well. He'll be talking about his legislative plan and his agenda. And as you can see here, we're going to listen in to a standing ovation.
Kept clapping after Donald Trump left the room. After the door was closed, did he think Donald Trump could see through the door?
One thing he disparaged was the city, Milwaukee, the location for the GOP convention. Parties choose cities in order to try to curry favor, so that's why they chose Wisconsin, which was a swing state, but Donald Trump basically undid any good by calling it, quote, a horrible city. So I don't know how much he's actually going to gain by having the convention there anymore.
And again, I don't know many people in Milwaukee who have 34 felony counts against them.
Well, Donald Trump,
our crime rate sure is going to go up when he joins us in Milwaukee.
There you go. That's right. They had to find a city where Donald Trump wasn't facing indictment, so Milwaukee was on the list.
Beyond that, because we know Donald Trump doesn't care about much other than what he says and what he thinks. According to Marjorie Taylor Greene, he was sweet and nice. I've heard many people give many descriptions to Donald Trump, but sweet is not one of them. It should give us all a shiver that he was at the Capitol again at all, considering the last time he was there, he incited an insurrection in order to stop the peaceful transition of power of which he was the office holder and which he is now on trial for in DC. But he showed up and did his talk. And the fact is he seems to get the GOP conference convinced that they have to back him, that somehow he's a winner because that last election, he really didn't lose, and somehow he's convinced them of this. But, there are others who know the truth and speak out about it. Representative Swalwell speaks about how Donald Trump has actually been losing often since 2016. Even Republican Paul Ryan has said on Fox that Donald Trump has been losing since 2016. And it's true. He's never won the popular vote. He barely won the electoral vote. He lost the midterms again and again. And most of the candidates he backs doesn't win.
Now, I know a lot of these folks who also shared your same concerns about Donald Trump have sort of said, all right, we're rallying around Donald Trump. You had said, though, that would not be the case with you. You had said that he's a populist and an authoritarian narcissist, that character is too important to me, and it's a job that requires the kind of character he just doesn't have. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. I agree with that. I voted for him in 2016, hoping that there was going to be a different kind of person in office. And I do think character is a really important issue. If you put yourself above the Constitution, as he has done.
But what happened?
I think that makes you unfit for office.
Was it the whole January 6th thing?
That's a part of it. I think it's a contribution of factors, but I think it really is just character at the end of the day. And the fact that if you're willing to put yourself above the Constitution, an oath you swear when you take office, in federal office, whether it's president or a member of Congress, you swear an oath to the Constitution. And if you're willing to suborn it to yourself, I think that makes you unfit for office.
Does it? You support that?
He's cost us a lot of seats. I could probably spend some time and come up with the numbers. He cost us the Senate twice. He cost us the House because he is nominating. He is pushing through the primaries people who cannot win general elections, but who pledged fealty to him. That's not a good way to build and grow a party. Ever since 2016,
but what's the difference between that and what?
This is why he has to talk about the fact that it was a fake election. This is why he has to talk about the fact that the justice system was weaponized, because otherwise, the juries couldn't have actually convicted him. I don't understand why people still believe him, despite the fact that there was so many litigation around whether or not there was fraud in the 2020 election. And he lost every single case. And so many of the lawyers were disbarred because of the lies that they told the judge, saying that the evidence was there and the evidence wasn't there. The Supreme Court, which he stacked, declined to take the case because there was no evidence of fraud. But somehow, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, he's just so sweet. And Speaker Mike Johnson is willing to put aside years of evidently really important values to him and his family to come and support somebody who actually, yes, I'm going to say it, is a loser.
Just a show of hands for anyone in the room who hung out with a felon today. Hey guys, probably want to get your hands up if you were hanging out with convicted felon Donald Trump. I don't think anyone on our side did. But that's why we're here.
Enough! Send him to the big house, not the White House. Get the new exclusive tees, mugs, and stickers right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.